What's going on, guys? How are we? Shano, nice to see you, brother. What's been happening? Let's start with you today, my man. Bugger all?
Yeah, not a lot, bro. I'm still
Not a lot.
battling.
Yeah, okay. I've seen you've had a few good sign-ups on Facebook, though, hey?
Yeah, I have. I've had a couple, but I'm
Awesome.
always just sitting about the 900 mark.
Okay. Just floating around that range. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I just can't seem to get over it. It's weird. But then I have a couple drop off because people only sign up for about 8 weeks. Most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough one with right-away clubs, mate, hey? It's just one that I've found there with the marketing and that kind of thing. But I suppose for you, continuing like on in right away, is that something you're looking at? I know you were talking about going to disability support for a little bit, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What's your plans surrounding that at the moment?
Yeah, I'm still going to go into that.
Yeah,
I just haven't done a lot with that either.
yeah.
The lady I was supposed to sign up with, the disability stuff's that's changed. So
Okay.
she's actually closed down, stopped it. So she's not going on with it. So I've got to find someone else now.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't implement any of the strategies
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I find right aware is a lot of young people, man. And
Yeah.
I don't find I can help the young too much. You know what I mean? I can help
Yeah.
anybody. I find it's just a lot of young Instagram models on there.
There is a lot. I went and trained at a oh, I suppose so which right way is this, mate? Because you're in Perth.
I'm at
Uh
Midvar.
okay. I went and
Where'd
trained
you
at
go?
right away Joondalup,
Oh yeah, because
recently.
there's only Maddington,
Yeah. Yeah.
Joondalup, and I think there's one coming in Rockingham way soon. I think.
Yeah. I did walk in there and kind of go, you know what, this is a little bit like Love Island, mate. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that kind of demographic in there. But look, mate, you're still ticking along nicely, right? You're around that mark. A couple of people coming through, which is good, right, as well. And I'm like the demographic you got coming in there. I've seen the ones you've been signing up. They suit your niche well, right? But there's
yeah,
probably just not as many in there, which is
yeah.
the issue. But look, still getting sign
And
ups, still ticking along the board, which is nice.
I get them, and I don't get. That's not from any strategies or anything like that. That's
They
just
approach you, that kind of thing.
they approach, mate. Yeah. They'll send me online or something like that. But it's nothing. The club doesn't help at all, man. There's only two of us. I should be killing them, mate. There's only two trainers there,
Yeah.
me and I.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they've got about 3,000, heaps of members, man. There's a Derrimatt's opening up very soon in
Yep.
Midland. I don't know if you
Yep.
know Midland, but there's like 10, 11 gyms in Midland.
Yeah, I do know the World Gym in Midland as well. I know
Yeah,
it's pretty well, it's huge. World Gym
yeah,
Midland, I'm pretty sure, right?
yeah.
So
And the next door neighbours there's Snap.
yeah, okay.
Up the road there's a Jets, and then up the road a little bit further than that there's a Anytime,
Yep.
and then there's an SMA, and then there's Derrimatt's opening up. We got a Swan Aquatic Centre.
There's a lot of gyms at the moment, guys, like a
Swan
lot.
Aquatic, Swan Aquatic only charge $40 an hour for personal training.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they government?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. They're $40 an hour, and this is what unfortunately puts us guys running our own businesses not in a great position, right?
Yeah,
Because a lot of the time people will go, they look at personal training as face value as like, okay, with Shane, I'm just getting a session. It's going to cost me X amount, right? People are uneducated and don't realize yet that all the back end stuff, all the
yeah,
nutrition, all the coaching, that's the value, really,
yeah.
right? The session is the session, right? It's pretty naive to think that a 30 to 60-minute session once or twice a week is going to really change the trajectory of your health and fitness, really,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, so that's
I
the
watch the
back end
other
kind of
trainer
thing.
anyway. I get about probably 6 or 7 exercises done in half an hour.
Yeah,
He gets about 5 in an hour, man. By the time they
yeah,
chat, carrying
yeah,
on.
that kind of stuff. Yeah,
But
that's it.
I reckon I lost a couple of clients lately because I had a bit of trouble with my missus,
Okay.
and this is probably good for everyone else that's listening out there. I started. It was playing in my mind and that. So then a couple of my clients that I'm really good friends with, like, you get because you don't get friends with them. I started fucking carrying and like putting my shit onto them, and I think that you know what I mean. It doesn't help.
No, it's that fine line. It's
Yeah,
hard, man. It's really hard, and it's hard for clients as well because
yeah.
they'll kind of start confiding in you and being like you're the therapist. Well,
Yeah, and I was doing the
really,
same bit myself, if you know what I mean, about relationships.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
That's what that's for us, for me as well. What I found is that I would quite often drift off and do that when you're spending a lot of time on the gym floor, right? Because 80 to 90% of the time, if you let your clients talk about the relationship and their
Yeah,
husband's been terrible and their kids and
yeah,
these kinds of things, the next
yeah,
one, what do? They walk in and say the exact same thing. Right.
yeah,
So just making sure that you set the boundary, PT log, get in, get out, smash the session, which it sounds like you're doing well now, man, as well, with the 5, 6 exercises in half an hour, just making them work at the same
yeah,
time, which is always good. Yeah.
yeah.
Spot on, mate. Spot on. Did you need anything from me? Is there anything I can do to help you at all?
I did have a question for you, actually. I'll get back to you with that.
Yeah. Too easy, mate. Too easy. I'm going to jump to Sam.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, second week in the club. I've got my
Beautiful.
first consult at 10, so straight after this.
Nice.
And that's it. Yeah, that's all that's happening.
Awesome. How'd the first week go last week?
Yeah, just calling. I've got all these people to call, so just ringing everyone, trying to book them in.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty good. Unfortunately, no one in the club knew I was coming, so the members don't know I exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, just had to get a bunch of posters printed out, put them up, just so my face is around at least.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
these next couple of weeks, this is where you really solidify yourself in the club. And I was talking to Tom about this as well, about just being super present in the club. And I think we had a couple of good wins, hey Tom, as well, which was nice. Yeah, beautiful. So
Yeah,
for you,
definitely.
Sam, yeah, spot on. For you, just making sure that you're there a lot of the time because you're the only PT, aren't you? The only trainer in the club.
Yeah, it's just me.
Yeah. How many members?
I've been told 900, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen that many, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, yeah. A lot of the time they'll say 900 and there's probably
Yeah.
500
Yeah, I
active,
don't
I'd
think so.
say,
Yeah. Yeah.
around that mark. But I know with Zaps, they are a little bit quieter
Yeah.
sometimes. But in saying that, when you are the only trainer in a club, the beauty of it is that if they want a PT, they go to you, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. So actually just having these posters up, being present on the gym floor, all these kinds of things, you'll find in a couple of weeks' time when people need 7 points of contact with something before they make a decision. Right. So seeing that poster 7 times and they go, you know what, I'm going to come and book in with Sam for a session. Right. So give this a little bit of time to tick over. I think for us as well, how'd you go with the calls last week? Did you get a few booked? Have you made a few calls yet? Have you booked a couple consults in for this week?
Yeah, I've got 3 booked in so far.
Beautiful.
Um,
Nice.
but yeah, I've got so many more calls to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've given me like 2 months worth of calls to do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with those ones, obviously you're playing catch up. I would try and play catch up throughout the week with those. Right. It's not so much like they get them done Thursday, Friday, because you've got a lot of volume there. And that's how are you feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed with that volume, with the amount, or how are you feeling towards that?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I just do
Good.
like a few a day. I don't want to stress myself out because it gets draining, ringing
It
and
does
ringing
get
and ringing.
draining,
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, everyone I've spoken to so far have been pretty good. So yeah,
Perfect.
feeling
Perfect.
good.
And I did speak the same thing with Tom about this as well, just making calls in the time of day. If you can keep them all within an hour period, I've done a lot of work on energy and actually running off your energy that you get throughout the day as well. If you are super drained between 5 and 6 p.m. after a long day at work, you get on the phones, what's your energy going to come across like? Probably like you don't want to be there. All right, which is like it's obviously not ideal if you're on the phone to someone, but it's the peak hour as well. Now there's a few peak hours throughout the day. I like calling it 12. It's people's lunch breaks, these kinds of things. They're usually optimistic at 12. Like if they've had a good morning, the call goes well, these kinds of things. So I'd say for you, filter through how many calls do you reckon are there? A lot.
Yes, over 100 I've got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid, right? We
Yeah.
get through 15 to 20 a day.
Yeah.
You'll tick them over very quickly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. Is there anything I can do for you? All good?
Yeah, all good, I think. I think we're gonna have a chat tomorrow as well. I booked
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Spot on. All right, we'll get it done. Beautiful. All right, let's go to Tom.
Sweet, man. So, yeah, first week done. Same, similar boat as
That'd be right. You
posters or
just
anything out that like the gym itself hasn't put any posters up for
yep.
me at this stage. So it's very much me doing my marketing, which is sweet.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, currently at this stage, I haven't actually got my uniform. So I'm sitting with like normal staff uniform. It's not training uniform.
Yeah, okay.
So a lot of
Gotcha.
people just think I'm normal staff, which is
Yeah.
okay. Which is okay.
A lot of
But yeah,
gyms are very
signed up
slack with it. Very slack with uniform, that kind
yeah,
of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So signed up my first gold on
Congrats, mate. That's
Saturday.
huge. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. How'd
Yeah,
that
so
console go?
that
Take me
was
through that
exciting.
console. What do you think went well there? Did
Oh
it
mate.
flow really naturally or?
Yeah, we just really clicked just as
Yep.
people. Yeah, it's like my ideal demographic he kind of fit into. So it was like that very much like tradie vibe. So we just
Yeah.
kind of yeah. So we just kind of gelled and yeah, 3 sessions a week. So we're pretty happy with that one. Nice early start, but it's in front of a lot of people too. So people see me, you know?
Absolutely. And the early
Yeah.
starts, guys, like I think you can like 8 hours sleep for me is the be all and end all. Right. So if you've got early starts, just get to bed. Get to bed. Like even I can like notice a significant difference. I can see you nodding your head there, Shane O'Hay, between like 6 hours to 8 hours. I operate like a different human, right? And your ability to make decisions, all these kinds of things, your stress levels, it's all very relevant to your sleep. And I know, the whole sleep is for the weak mentality, sleep when you're dead, hustle culture, stop hustling, please. All right. Hustle smart, right? So I think for me, and like Tomo, for you, what time's that session nice? And it was like a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
5:30, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's
Yeah.
manageable, but it's very
Not too
tradie
bad,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
So what's
But I
the
mean that's kind of
what
the hours I want to be in anyway.
definitely what's the plan of
Uh
attack for this
yeah.
week coming out? What have we got kind of scheduled? Do we have a few consults booked in?
Yeah, so a few consults booked in, which I booked in after that win on Saturday because I just had a bit of good energy going into the calls.
Good, brother. Yeah.
So it was good. So yeah, there's like it's three consults booked for today.
Nice.
And the rest is really just like admin, getting posters. They have massive TV screens at the front of the gym, so getting some advertising on there as well.
For sure.
And just show my face every single
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's advertising looking like in the club now? Because how many trainers? Are you the only trainer?
No, so there's five trainers, including myself.
Yep.
One of them's leaving, but it's like 1,800 members. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do
Yeah.
they do
So
a
it's
lot of
big.
advertising themselves?
Yeah. Oh no, those the other trainers don't. Not at all.
It shocks me. It
Yeah.
shocks me, right? Like that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So, but if they're not advertising, they're probably at a stage where they're happy. They're making
Hmm.
they're booked, like that kind of thing, which
Yep.
is good. Like you're walking in there. In that situation, in my head, I look at that and go, right, Tomo's the only guy in this club. If you're the only one advertising, you might as well be the only PT in your club, right? So all these new
Yeah.
consults, get the posters up. When you put your posters up as well, get them in high foot traffic areas. Now, I don't know how big the gym is, right? Like, so I always like them in the bathrooms because people are going to go into the bathroom, right? They can scan a QR code, that kind of thing, to book directly in with you as well. Business cards, have you got business cards set up as well?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Got our business cards. Let's get those up. And then from there, man, it's like we've obviously got marketing coming out with the marketing marathon as well. So it'll be a big strategy for us. What did we decide on last week? Just prompt my brain. What were we going to do? What were we going to hit hard for the next kind of couple of weeks?
We, we were we were talking about to sign them off until the marketing marathon on
Yeah.
that one. I don't know what you think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as you've got the volume, because I think you
Yeah.
had a few calls, that kind of thing. If we can kind of get that 5 to 10 mark, which is a good kind of amount, a good consult amount before the marketing marathon. I think we're in a good spot. I think we could really overwhelm ourselves with the amount of work we could do if we can just focus on quality of work, that is way more productive, right? Over just mass producing work, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense,
kind
yeah.
of,
Is there
yeah.
any strategy you would say I should look at going into this week?
I would say for you, well, are posters set up yet? Or are you just looking at getting them set up? You're right, mate. I think you're back now.
Okay, I'm back. There
I think
you
you're back now.
go.
Are posters set up yet?
No.
Or are you okay?
No, I'm
Poster
doing
power.
that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got it made and everything. It looks good. It's in all these colors.
Beautiful. Spot
Yeah.
on.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's it, mate. So get those done, get them out. Like a lot of the time, poster power isn't a strategy that's going to get you a shitload. I shouldn't say shitload, a lot of volume, right? A lot of people booking in, but it's almost like a filler, right? So you get 1 to 2 a week book in, and I like it because a lot of people, they just won't approach PTs on the gym floor anyway, right? Because they're nervous. They're nervous, they're anxious, and a poster, particularly if it's in a bathroom or it's somewhere a little bit more like safe, you could say, in a gym, people will always go up to it and scan it, right? Because no one's looking. They might be the only one in there. They've got the chance to scan it and show the world they don't know what they're doing, right? That kind of thing. So I think for you, if we can implement them this week, that'll tie us over for the next couple of weeks and put us in a good spot and build some really good momentum for you moving into that marketing marathon.
Nah, sweet. Sounds good.
Perfect, brother. Love your work, eh? Love your
Sweet.
work. All right,
Thank you,
guys.
man.
Anyone else
Appreciate
that
it.
needs me, just drop a 1 in the chat. Otherwise, I'll keep making my way around. We'll go from there. All right. So I'm going to come to Ray. Is that you dropping a 1? Yeah.
How did you know?
A little bit of, yeah, a little bit of movement going on there. Hey.
Yeah, I was about to. So I've heard back from my trainer after I sent you that message.
Yeah.
And
So how'd you go with her?
yeah, so she's looking at dropping her job where she is now, which is mornings, to make herself more available, which is amazing because I really wanted
Huge.
mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna drop. So what time is the earliest that you'd have a trainer start? Given that she's got to drive 20 minutes down. Actually, she's
Yeah.
going against the traffic, but
Yeah. So I kind of leave it really up to my trainers. I'll always get them to put start and end in their diary. At the end of the day,
Okay.
they're subcontractors, right? So
yeah.
they're not really set to schedules. Now, I think my earliest trainer starts at 5, a 5 o'clock session as well.
Yeah.
And she's really happy with that. She's one that's good with her bedtime routine and gets to sleep on time and all these kinds of things, right? A lot of the other ones, the young ones, they'll start at 7, which is still an early start when I look at it and go, you know, it is early to be at work and to be, you know, talking to people and getting yourself ready, these kinds of things. So yeah, it's up to you, Ray. I'd say 6 to 7.
My question was, because I have people at 5:15 and 5:30.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't start that early, then that means I've got to get up and go do them. And then
Here we
come
go.
home.
Now you're thinking about leverage, hey? Now you don't want to do it. So, but this is good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's how you should be thinking. It's about buying back your time, which you're doing now with leverage, right? So
Yeah.
you say to her, we start here, you know, she does her
All right.
2 hours on the gym floor, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But you just say to her that, like, they're lovely clients, and I think you guys would gel really well, right? Even if you get 1 or 2 mornings back throughout the week, where you don't have to start early.
If I can get
Yeah.
2 mornings back, then that'll be amazing. That
There you
will,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Especially
Right. So
coming into Christmas and New Year, because I sent the message, you know how I'd already said to you, I already said to her, look, it's coming into the busy time and I do a Christmas strategy, which means we'll be really busy in January. And so she already had come back and says, okay. She goes, she was just like putting it out there. And because her rent will still be low, I said, you can still have those 2 weeks off and it'll only be like $100 rent over the 2 weeks that we'd both have to pay because she's still in the build-up phase.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And her build-up phase is huge, isn't it? It's like 12 weeks.
15.
15 weeks. Far out.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
good. Yeah.
From Good Life. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Who would have
Good
thought?
life for the people now, apparently, hey? Yeah.
Well, not quite, but yeah, getting there.
Getting there, yeah. So I like that, yeah. So I think even with that kind of thing in communication's so big, right? Like with your trainer now, Ray, just like being really open with them and letting them in on the vision and what you want to achieve. And then also asking for constant feedback from
Yeah.
her, right? So I think as leaders and as, as coaches, we need to ask for feedback as well. I think what a lot of the standard kind of 9 to 5 work like now does is really put people in places of power that they shouldn't be in, right? So
Yes.
managers, all these kinds of things, like team leaders, they walk around with an arrogance, whereas you've got someone under you who, she will end up being a better trainer than you. And I'm going to put it out there and say, my
Yeah,
guys are
no,
probably a better trainer than me right now, right?
she's
So
got a ton of experience. And when we did an interview, I said, where do you ultimately see yourself? And she goes, I see myself doing what you're doing. And then she gave this funny laugh, like, oh my God, I just said that out loud. So that's stuck in my mind because that's exactly what I want.
exactly,
Not that
right?
I said that then, but that's a really good, now she's already, yeah,
She's thinking
hopefully.
big.
Yeah,
Thinking
yeah.
big.
Well, I did what you said. Like, I just put that vision out there. Says, look, I said I want to actually be the biggest team in good life, and that we help the most people. And I said, and my role is I want to actually step back so I can be more of an online, looking at their
Presence.
nutrition and their mindset, so that we
Yeah.
can give them a double whammy and making sure that they get results. And that's the biggest goal. But we do that as a team, and we grow and we bring more people on. So
Yeah.
I kind of sort of outlined that, like you just said, just really, really transparent, because then there's no misunderstandings if you're really
Exactly.
transparent.
Yeah. Transparency is everything with your clients, with your
Yes.
coaches and your team. If you fail to be transparent, it only takes one white lie, right? For you to feel less significant in yourself and for your confidence to take a hit as well.
That's right. And that's the worst thing, isn't it? Yeah. I even like go over their direct debit. I say that's an $11 setup fee. It's going to cost $1.50 each week. Is that okay? And I like, you know what I mean? Everything. So they can't come back. Oh, I didn't know there was that. You know what I mean? Because if that were me, I'd be annoyed.
Yeah,
So you didn't tell me
exactly. It's all honesty as well, right? So that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Ray, I want to have like this book, honestly, I've been reading this and it's awesome for us with leverage, buying back your time and having people in your positions and all these kinds of things. I've been preaching it to everyone that I've come across with. It's the best book I've ever read, right? And I know a lot of people say that, in all honesty, for us and young business owners. And, a lot of the time we feel like we're not making the right decision as well.
Yeah, well, that's definitely what I want to do. I want my time back. I mean, like, we're 3 years into our relationship. We've got kids and stuff. I don't want to be doing, all that kind of stuff.
It kind of sounds like to me you've got fed up with being fed up, right? Like it took us a little while, but we got there in the end as well. And I think I love that we're in here having this conversation, guys, to start the Monday morning. It's a ripper conversation to have, right? Like, so with this kind of thing, it's personally, I don't want to be stuck on the gym floor taking sessions for the rest of my life, right? And it's nothing against sessions, but it's that whole get in there at 5, finish at 8, no other time for myself and my family, right? I don't think of anything worse, really, right? So this is why we build people around us and support networks. And for people like Sam and Tom starting out in their clubs, Shane, brother, like these kinds of things, it's a real reality that you can just slowly work towards every day, right? And I think that is the real driving factor and the change that you want to bring. So for us, Ray, when she start? Pretty soon, hey?
It's the week of the 18th.
Okay, nice. Couple of weeks.
Yeah, so that's why I want to get that playbook written.
Yeah, I finished mine. Let me send this across to you. Actually, I'll send it across now. I forgot to do that for everyone.
So I think that would be amazing, because then it's all written down. And she's already asked for something like that. She wants to sit down and chat, and which makes sense because she's got kids as well, and so obviously thinking of her big picture as well. So.
And when you're thinking about your staff and what's going to work best in their scenario, it's going to be it's going to be something that she can watch and look at while she's making dinner, or she's switching off to go to bed, these kinds of things. Whereas having to physically be there is just, it's not actually buying back your time, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
read this something in this book
Oh,
here, and
that's
it's like,
true.
yeah, we don't hire to grow your business. We hire to grow to buy back your time, right? Because when we're hiring to
Yeah,
just
yeah,
grow the business, you're just mass kind of like doing more things, right? And when we're really hands-on managers or business owners, a lot of the time it's micromanaging. So yes, we got a trainer in, but you're still there watching them like an eagle, right? Criticizing their
yeah,
every move. When they come back in, you're telling them what to do. You're doubling what you
yeah.
initially were doing, right?
Should have
So
just done it yourself.
do it yourself, yeah. And I think it's that real old school. Well, it's an older mentality where it's like if you want it done right, do it yourself.
Yeah,
Right? Where a lot of us kind of like really struggle to let go, but when you can let go, and I think another kind of quote from this book that'll help you guys out, it was that it might not be done 100%. So if something's done 70% to 80% of your standard, that's 100% freaking awesome,
Mm,
right? Because you don't have to do it, right? So you're never going to find Ray, but you're going to find someone who brings 80% of Ray, and that's probably 100% better than most people in the industry as well.
yeah, for sure.
Cool. So I'll send that
Yeah,
place. Can you just send me playbook on the school? Because I
sure.
need to send it. Yeah, need to send it to a few people.
I'll do it now. I've actually got to head off, so I'll just put my video off. But yeah, we're driving to Brisbane today for an event. We're going to see David Goggins.
Oh,
So
how good. Enjoy, hey? Enjoy. I tried
yeah,
to snag
well,
some tickets to that and it was too late. So, but I think it's a day event, isn't it? It's like a
yeah.
big, yeah. No,
So
awesome.
I'm already late, but I'm not too late. But it doesn't matter. I assume you'll come on later, but it's all good.
He'll make you do push-ups or something, I reckon, when you walk in there. You want to
Yeah,
get in there pretty quickly, hey?
yeah,
All
I
right,
reckon.
enjoy, hey? Enjoy.
Thank you so much. I
All right,
will.
see you later.
See ya.
All right. Max, my man. Can you talk, brother?
Oh yes, I can. How are we doing, Talks?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a lot better. I've been like really unwell for the past like 10 days. So but I've woken up today. I'm feeling good. I've already had a client this morning. I'm just doing some bits and pieces, and
Beautiful.
ready to smash the week again.
Love it, mate. What's
Um
the plan of attack? Run me through it.
uh I want to get some more of the business tracker or business modules unlocked. So I did put
Yep.
a little comment into the content time thing. But if
Beautiful.
you're able to do that today, that'd be amazing.
Definitely.
Review that. I've still got some leads from last week I haven't called. So that's what I'll be doing this week because I can actually speak instead of dying on the phone.
Yep.
Got a couple of consults booked that were for last week but had to be rescheduled because I was unwell and we couldn't find a time. So
Yep.
got a couple of those this afternoon. But yeah, just make some calls, get some leads going, improve my package presentation bits, like my little PDF documents. And yeah, I signed on a couple of people last week. I started with the silver and I got a gold on board, which is exciting. So I did the onboarding on Saturday. So I'm seeing those guys now for the next 8 weeks locked in till Christmas.
Beautiful, mate. Awesome. Take me like run through where are we at with the business? Obviously, we didn't see you last week because you were sick. So I know you had some pretty significant growth though, hey, in the first kind of couple of weeks.
Yeah, I got myself within the first 3-4 weeks, um I've got a gold, I got a silver, I got a bronze. Basically my hit rate with by taking everyone through like the pre-health screen questionnaire like that. It's not just the health, it's the actual questions that really matter.
Exactly. Yeah,
Taking
yeah.
people through that. So like for context, I do a lot of my leads come from the gym. So they
Yep.
are people who have purchased a PT pack, so 90 minutes of my time.
Yep.
So the first 45 minutes is the consult and the movement analysis or movement assessment. And then
Love
the
it.
second one is an actual workout. And that's where,
Yep.
again, continue building rapport and really narrowing in on what they really want from a possible personal trainer.
Yep.
And then by presenting them the gold silver package, which I'm just making edits to at the moment, I think out of everyone it's been like 4 out of 6 or 4 out of 5 people I have signed up. So
There you go, mate.
um
So the
yeah,
conversion rate is huge there, right? And I think for you, it's what it sounds like to me, it's genuine care within this person. Genuine care will always win, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us say, oh, I genuinely care about this prospect. Do you really though? Like, will you sit down, get to know them, these kinds of things? Easy to say that, right? So in that session as well, just be really mindful to really, you can kind of pick up on what they want, right? And you've obviously done that, which is massive. Yeah. When you come back in, it's almost like you probably haven't really had to sell either. You've just kind of just come in. It's been really smooth. Would you say it's been fairly smooth from the transition?
Yeah, it's been it's basically just been like they are almost not saying I'm reading their minds or making an assumption, but it's almost like they are ready to be presented with what happens next. Like
Yeah.
they're ready for that type of chat. And what has also helped me is the first session, booking that first session and then booking them for a week later, so they can get on my app. They can get like I'm on Trainerize, so it sends out those automatic messages. So I'm checking in on them constantly over a week, and I'm making sure they're doing stuff, making sure they're actually using the platform, so they are being taken care of while they're on it. But it's all free, or not free, but it's you've got a PT basically at your whim, and you're only paying like $90 for an entire week.
This is the thing. I had a chat to someone about this yesterday, guys. Our rate is cheap. Like, it's stupidly cheap, right? And I was looking at all the back end value. You look at a lot of trainers where you will just get a physical session, right? They are around the mark that we're at as well for the accountability, the trainerize, the nutrition, the school when you guys build that out. Like, there is a lot of value there. So I think when we're selling, and a lot of people try and pick the other person's wallet. They go, what can this guy afford in a console, right? And then you have like pre-thoughts of like, oh, they're not going to sign, or they're going to sign, or these kinds of things. Number one, we need to rid of those, right? Because everyone's there. If everyone's in front of you, they're there to buy, right? Or they've thought about buying before. I would say everyone that comes in for a PT consult, they are there because they want personal training at the end of the day, right? Now, there is a couple of people where sometimes you walk into a consult, and we all would have had it before, and we just go, what? Like, what? What is going on here? All right. They don't seem to have a goal. They have no general direction. And it's kind of our job to unlock that. But, we dig and we dig and we dig, and nothing comes out in return. But I think we need to look at that price point and go, what you guys are worth for you, Max. Like, what's our rate at the moment? 60 per half, 65 per half? Where are you at the moment?
I don't actually have any half an hours, but it's 75 for an hour, and I only have one person on 60 for 45, but that's like one of my very first people. So everyone else now is like the gold, for example, is like, for me, it's like 169 a week, and most people are doing a 45 and 45 minute with me, and they get the online coaching as well, which is nice and easy.
There you go. Right. When you've got that much to give, so cheap. Yeah. As you get more confident, mate, as well, I'd be raising that up for sure. For sure. Yeah. So within that range of being that 120 per hour, so 60 per half, that's where majority of us should sit, and should sit very, very comfortably. Right. And I still say that, and we look around the call and it's like a few people are taken back. At the end of the day, right, there is trainers out there who don't have as much passion as Shano, right? Don't have as much passion as Tom, and they're charging 150 an hour, right? And it's really self-worth. And I think a lot of us, we look back on the imposter syndrome and the entitlement, and we go, who am I to think I'm worth $150 an hour, right? Everyone in this room would have thought that, right, at some point. What I've learned as well pretty recently, I will have that thought as well. It's like, okay, what am I really worth that amount? Like, who am I to be having, a team of 5 trainers and that kind of thing? If your intention is pure, right, why should you not be worth that amount? Right? If you have real, genuine intention to change these people's lives, which I know every single one, like every single person in this room does, right? You are worth more than that. It's just really getting over that personal barrier. We'll always be our number one biggest critic as well as humans. We will always hold ourselves back. So I think for you, brother, like, continue the great work, continue the hustle, and like the eagerness I hear in your voice to just move forward. It's inspiring. Like, we just want to go, just want to run. And I think coming into this marketing marathon, it'll set us up for some really like solid success coming into 2025.
Yeah, and sorry, just something you mentioned before, and I just want to like continue on for anyone who's like just started or they're maybe having the issue with that price point. The first time I put gold in front of someone, and it was like, so sweet, $169 a week, and they were like, okay. The first couple of people were like, oh, like I only want to do bronze, but the second person, I was like, I said it, waited, had the money pause, and they were like, okay. Like I was really confident in myself in the consult and then in the workout, and I was just giving them little bits of information here and there. It's like, here's like 1/10 of what I can do for you. Like, oh, if you change this, that'll help that. If you change this, that'll help that. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm just like dropping those little gold nuggets as I go. And then when I presented it, because we've built a rapport, they're in like a good state, finishing off the session, like, did you have was that a good session? Yes. Can you see yourself doing this long term? Yep. Amazing. Would you like to see some service that might be of service to you? Oh, absolutely. Boom. So straight down. And then just having the confidence of like a good session, bringing this in front of them, they're just like, okay, like it is what it is. And then
That's
so
so
it's like,
smooth, brother. That's
cool.
really smooth. Like how you presented that as well for someone who's so fresh to it. Yeah. Basically, I think guys with sales, we just don't want to come across as forceful as well, right? So that's why at the start of consultations, I love just telling them what you're gonna do in the session, right? So we've run through it a few times, but basically you can wrap up the initial talk and saying, look, like at the end of our chat today, right? If you want to pursue PT, obviously it's something I offer, right? But it's really whatever you need. All right, sound good? Let's get into it. Then they feel more that they can kind of like relax and they're like, okay, like he's probably going to offer me something. But this is when you go and build all the rapport, right? And they feel a lot more, they feel safe with you. Whereas with a lot of trainers, it's like forced down your throat. Like you have to buy, you have to buy, you have to buy, which creates that real scarcity as well. So I think how you frame that, Max, is perfect, right? Like some services that maybe, potentially may work for you. It goes a long way. Yeah, I love pre-framing, right? I think it's something that a lot of us don't do because traditional sales, right? You're kind of taught to kill every objection and deal with every objection, but it takes all the pressure off you too as well. And the goal with sales is to kill the objection before it comes up and not really have to navigate it by making the prospect feel stupid, which I think a lot of the time in sales, people tend to feel like they're not heard, right? We just need to hear people. That's the biggest thing, right? And really resonate with them and almost reference back what they've said to us, right? So if I'm hearing you right, you need this, this, and this, right? Because we make too many assumptions too quickly and jump forward. So I think, Max, similar circumstance, when I sold my first gold at a higher price point, the guy actually said to me, oh, do you not sell many of those? Because I was so taken back, right? Like he could see that I was just like, oh my God, okay, people will do this, right? So then you can really settle in and know what you're doing is right. And look, like a lot of people, they're not going to pick a gold. But for us here at Pinnacle, the gold is such a luxury, right? You're trying to get people on a silver, really, between me and you guys, right? 2 sessions a week, 3 sessions a week can be tricky because it requires the client to show up 3 times out of their 5-day working week, generally, right? So I'll always be a big fan for 245s if you're doing gold. All right, for sure. Yeah. So I love it, brother. Everything you're doing, you're smashing it. It's been a pleasure to have you on board since you've joined as well, because you've just put the foot down. Appreciate it, hey. So let's keep doing what we're doing. All right, I'm going to go to easy, bro. I'm going to jump to Cass, and then I'm going to come to Sam. We'll go from there.
Good
What's happening,
morning.
Cass? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I had a good weekend, cruisy weekend, which was nice.
Lovely. So did I
Lovely.
actually. After my full day of work on Saturday, I signed up another 2 clients. I just can't say no. I really, really struggle to say no to helping people. And like, I'm at the point now, I'm like, fuck, how am I even going to fit them in? But
yeah,
hopefully, like I've booked in that second stage with the trainer on Sunday for her to take me through a session. So hopefully that goes well and I can get someone on board ASAP. But yeah, I'm pretty much
you don't
exactly
get call
where I'm
lists, do you, Cass?
What's that?
Like you don't get call lists at
Hell
your
no.
club?
I can't do any marketing at Right Aware. Like literally nothing. They don't let me do shit.
There you
So
say that just
I've literally got a banner up, but I I'm only allowed to have it up for a month apparently. So they said
Gotcha.
then I can take it down. But I've honestly only had a few people book through that anyway.
Yeah.
Like all of my
Where,
leads is coming from
if you
social
don't mind me
social
asking,
media.
Cass, social media has been a big one for you, hey?
Yeah, social media, yeah.
Which
That's where most
generally,
of them are coming from. And then
yeah, generally
yeah.
isn't a
So,
big
and just
lead
being
gen
present
for,
in the gym.
yeah, presence. Like presence, I think is really powerful. And when you're back to back to back all day, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I think for you,
Yeah.
Cass, honestly, the next step is to raise your price, right? And
Yeah.
it's
I'm at
when
I'm
you're
at 194 for gold and
yeah,
then 139 for silver. And then
yeah,
like if I drop down to bronze, which I'm really like I'm not even in a place now where I'm like, you know what's the point? Like I can barely take on any more clients. So I'm not really bothering with bronzes. If they can't afford the silver or the gold, then I'm just like,
yeah,
I'll send them to like one of the other trainers,
yeah.
but like I literally sold 2 silvers, but then when one of the silvers on the weekend messaged me, she's like, "Hey, can I actually upgrade to a gold?" I was like, "Yep, no
That doesn't
problem."
usually happen. Like, does it's usually the other way.
I know. So I was
I
like,
think
"Fuck,
for
all
you,
right."
Cass, you're around that mark of 70 per half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's what I'm doing, 70 per half at the moment.
Oh, so, okay. So you're doing 70
Yeah.
per half now? Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's huge. And the only reason I say it because your selling must be fairly on point now. But the beauty of your leads is that they're hot and they want the training. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like they
Yeah,
want to
like I
work with you.
actually haven't had to do like a proper Kickstarter session since I've been at Right Away. Like I haven't had to do a single like, going through the 2 parts of physical assessment because every single lead that I've had has contacted me wanting PT. So I
All
literally
right.
just go through the pre-exercise questionnaire, show them what I offer and sell them. Like
Got a
it's too
question
good.
for you. Right.
Yes.
So I think initially at Right Aware, we were slower starting off, right? As
Yeah,
well.
because I was going away, so I couldn't really do much. But I
Yeah.
then, in my last week before going away, I'd signed up like 8 clients. So I was like, fuck.
All right. This is the biggest thing because I'm trying to help Shane here.
Yeah.
Right. So Shano's in it Right Aware. Now the social media, that kind of thing, what has brought the people in? Is it like stories and engagement with the stories?
Yeah, 100%. It's a bit of everything. Like, because I obviously every single day, like, I try and post every single one of my clients, like a boomerang of every single one of my clients every single day. So they know
Yeah.
how often I'm in the gym. They see all my clients, they can see their progress, what they do. And then I
Yeah.
also try and post, at least if I get someone to video my sessions, at least one of my exercises so they can also see how I train, that I train every day, all of that. So like I try and that's like a must every single day. And then I try and post every single day on my actual page as well. So sometimes like I was doing twice a day, I was doing a workout reel every single morning and then like an actual post, like a photo every single night. So it was just like constantly in the news feed. I have dropped off a little bit with that though. But I at least always try and post once a day.
So you Facebook or Instagram?
I post on Instagram, but Instagram's connected to Facebook. So everything that goes on Instagram just automatically goes on Facebook. But I get more leads from Facebook than I do from Instagram.
Yep. Okay, there you go. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a strange one because a lot of people will get Instagram leads over Facebook, but it's very kind of like
I think as well because like I've been in business for 8 years now. So soon, like to be honest, I fucking hate social media. I cannot stand it. And before I had a business, I never had social media. Like I cannot stand it. And I hate having to share so much about my life because I am a private person and I like to keep it that way. But like, obviously, like now that I know it's probably the biggest thing that's grown my business over the years, and I've always lived like in the north. So I think just with my following, what I had done, I converted my personal Facebook page with a huge following on it already with people that knew me because I don't really accept randoms. Well, back then I didn't. I don't really now, to be honest. But I converted it to like a business page. So all my following knows me and they know most of them from high school or somewhere along the way in my life. So I do get quite a lot of people that I already know from somewhere in my life come see me because I already got them on Facebook and they've seen my journey. So I think because I've just built it up so much over the years that it's probably the most important thing that gets me over the line.
I think social media, and to touch on this, guys, as well, like it's one of those ones. I'm same thing. I like to keep my life fairly personal, and I know a lot of people do. When you kind of change your thought process and going that, okay, like social media, if you surround yourself with the wrong things, it can drag you in for hours quite easily, right? And like toxic kind of like not toxic videos, but just you waste a lot of time, right? But there's a lot of access to really great mentors and like people that have done significant things on social media, but it's also another way to help people, right?
Yeah.
And I've found through engagement on our socials, just stories and tag your gym that you're in, right? Like the Revo that I'm in, they
Yeah.
don't have a personal page, but you look at the Revo like account that they have on their Instagram, the stories on there and the traffic that they get through. I've put a couple of stories up and on the past couple of days, and you see your engagement when you change your Instagram account, your Facebook to a business account, you can see engagement. My engagement went from like 1,000 to like 5K. So 4K it like clicked on those stories, right?
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? So just share stories. If all else fail, stories, right? Posts a few days a week. I think for you, Cass, like the consistency is something that's probably compounding. Like it's taken Cass 8 years of consistency on social media to really start to see some really good return. Because in Derrimut, Cass, it probably wasn't socials, hey, that were picking up
So,
the clients.
so funny enough, because Derrimut's had their like Derrimut Anglevale, Derrimut Smithfield, like they had personal pages, which I would obviously tag all of the
Yep.
Derrimuts I could. They would sometimes share my stories. Right Aware, nothing. Like Right Aware,
Okay.
I tag them in every single one. Right Aware has never, ever, ever shared anything that I've ever done. Mind
Yeah.
you, like I actually did a post. I was pretty proud of this. When I did my post the other day, just about how I announced that like pretty much I'm booked out in within 2 months. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yep.
Simon, actually I think he did, because I think maybe you or Simon commented on it. But
Yeah.
anyway, national manager commented on there saying you're an absolute asset. So that kind of really made my day.
For sure.
To be
Yeah.
appreciated, because I wasn't appreciated like that at Derrimut, and considering I've only been there for 2 months, and to be an asset to their company like that really
Absolutely. Absolutely.
meant
Yeah.
that.
And I think those are the things, guys. Like I know there's some clubs out there. I'm doing a lot of work with Revo now, and I've just sent the CEO an email. I don't know how that's going to be reciprocated, but anyway, like just to get some people in front of us and actually show that, do you know how many more people we could help in right-of-ways if they gave lists?
Oh, so many. So
Like,
many.
There
I
are
wish
so
I
many
could.
people in those clubs because they're like $8 a week to train
Yeah.
them, aren't they? $8 a
Yeah.
week to train a right-of-way club that are complete beginners that have no idea how to do anything in the gym. And you would see it. You guys would see it on the gym floor all the time. And you just go, if only I had 30 minutes in front of you to show you what you needed, right?
100%.
Now, I kind of want to develop a strategy with Sai as well for clubs like this that don't allow the list, that kind of thing, because the presence and you physically being there and talking to these people, right, will be everything. And it's probably been for you, Cass, hey, like have people come up to membership consultants or admin and just said, I want PT, and then you're there? Has that been the biggest thing?
Oh, look, it's probably more so the fact that I'm constantly on. We have 5 PTs now. And
Yeah, wow, okay.
I barely see any of the other PTs on the
Yep.
gym floor training, like every now and then. But because I'm there so often, but now I'm actually there less because I have more clients at home. So
Yep.
I'm almost half and half at the moment. So I'm actually there less.
Yeah,
But when
wow.
when I got back and I was at Right Aware like 90% of my time, it would just be from people seeing me on the gym floor. And most of the time, to be honest, they won't come up and talk to me, but they'll send me a message. They'll find,
Yep. There you
they'll
go,
get my,
right?
they'll send me a
So
message on Instagram or Facebook, and then they'll start talking to me on there. And I just build a little bit of rapport, and then just, end up booking them in for a chat. And
that's it. And that's my big point with a lot of these clubs. It's people are so intimidated to approach a PT, right? The amount of
100%.
people that we signed in World Gym that had purely just said, you know what, like if I didn't receive this message, I wouldn't have even come in, right?
Yeah.
And it's only because these clubs don't do these kinds of things like the right-of-ways and the revos, member protection, one, and I totally understand it. And probably in the past being spam called by other uneducated trainers that are just there to just like mass call and just sell product, right? Which that's the last thing we want to do. We want to get them in and actually give them a good experience. So I think for you, Cass, like get this trainer on, I think there's 2 points where you look at a price rise. It's like end of financial year, but also when your books are that full, right? You've got to bring another trainer on as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So you're operating at that 75 per half kind of mark now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be obviously 150 an hour, 225 for a goal, that kind of range.
Yeah. Yeah.
Add school to that as well. You're definitely there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, at the moment, like I got my school is like Teachable, which is just a different, only because I got my website set up on there, and then part of the website I just do all my modules on there. So like I absolutely smash that out, and I've got so many modules on there now that like I could literally just sell that training portal, and someone can succeed on their journey like without me at all, without ever having to speak to me.
Perfect. I didn't even know you had this set up, so that's massive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Love
did
it.
all of that when I was at home for like 3 months without
That's right.
I smashed all that out. So, and then I have Trainerize as well on top of that. Like I already have Voxer. That's something that I set up last time when I got my first trainer on board. So everything's like good, ready to go. And I think that's why I'm able to handle so many clients at the moment, because
it's
like
system is there.
system.
How nice is the new Trainerize update as well? It's
What's that,
about
sorry?
time. How nice is the Trainerize update? Easy
I
Max.
With what? I haven't even noticed.
Oh yeah, so there's an update. So up in the app there'll be like a little. I'll send it to you. I'll screenshot it so you can change it. It's way cleaner. It's like not as laggy as well, which is good.
Sweet. All right, that sounds
we love it. All right,
awesome.
Nice work, hey. I'm going to jump to Sam and then we'll begin to wrap things up here. How are you, brother? What's going on?
Hey mate, I'm all right. I'm glad that you guys had a cruisy weekend because mine was hectic. So that's why I was late to the party. I usually get up at like, 7, but today I wasn't even up to like 8:30. So sorry I was the show.
No, you're fine, mate. You're fine. What's been going on?
A quick question, just I'm still pretty new to this. So what I think I'm keen to know is how do you keep your sessions with the same client interesting? Because mine wants to really learn how to do her first pull-up. She's going on holiday to Bali in in like a month. And so she's not taking it too seriously, because obviously for 2 weeks in Bali, she's not going to care about health. She's going to be on a beach drinking tequila all day. But she really wants to learn pull-ups and that. So but I don't want to just do the same exercises every time. How do you keep your sessions interesting?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I think you almost have to make your engagement with your client interesting, because we know as trainers, progressive overload is going to be key, right? So her doing the same movement is going to get her to her goal. So, like trying to beat around the bush and do something else, a lot of the time the trainer, no worries, Sam, the client will say, oh, like can we do something else? But it's us as professionals and our responsibility to go, you know what, if we do this movement over time, this is going to 10x your chance to achieve this goal, right? So I think for you, it's about getting in, setting the standard, having lots of energy, having a lot of fun. All right, we did this last week. Now you got this. Let's move on, right? So it's not so much the movement that I think it keeps it interesting. It's the interaction between you and a client as well. And our objective here is to go from A to B. As me as a coach, I'm not going to put you off a path that's going to go take you to C, right, and miss B, because we want to get to B, right? So let's continue to work on the pull-ups, probably for pull-ups, assisted pull-up, resistance band pull-ups, that lat pull-downs, these kinds of things, 3 key movements, right? So let's focus on these movements heavy for 4 to 6 weeks and get stronger at these movements. When they start to see they're getting stronger in movements, that's when they go, okay, all right, now I can see the progression here. It's really important to always highlight your client's success to them as well, because otherwise they're their biggest critics as well. So they won't realize how far they've actually come. So like even something as small as we've added 2.5 kilos to that lat pull down this week, that's a win. It's a big win, right? Because they wouldn't have done that without you there. And it's hard because we're dealing with a lot of people, but that's why presence is so powerful. Like just being there in the moment with your client, your attention will skyrocket as well, right? If you can just be all in on them. I know like life is crazy. You've got a million different things. You've got to pick the kids up from school, then you've got to cook dinner, you've got to do this, and this, do your admin, all that kind of stuff. living by your diary and really, being invested in every moment. I think for you, bro, as well, as you start to grow and gain more clients, just know that you're the one who will dictate how interested they are in the session through your passion and your energy as well.
All right. So that's, I like that. I'm the one that'll dictate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, sorry
Easy,
again, I
brother.
was late. I work, hospitality and tourism over the weekend, so I worked like a good 20 odd hours Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, I
No,
appreciate
fair
it.
call, man. It's a valid sleeping, I think, Valid
I
sleeping for
appreciate
sure.
it. So
That's
yeah,
it.
even if you're doing just the same exercises every session, just keep the progressive overload going and just keep highlighting how much stronger they're getting each session.
That's it, mate. That's it. And for 6 weeks, I'll do the same movements with my guys for sure. Yeah, for sure. Because it's
because I want to find that balance where I want to keep it interesting, but I don't want to just throw all these new things at them every session and just kind of like
exactly right.
make it unnecessary.
I've found what's worked really well with our sessions when we've been kind of like, we're always finishing with something fun. So do your core block, do your 3 to 4 movements, and then you switch up like a max wall sit or an air bike or getting a sweat up. I think getting a sweat up towards the end of a session leaves them feeling like, yes, I've achieved something, even though we know through their movements they have. But a lot of people, the general mind thinks that if I'm not sweating, I haven't done anything and I'm not moving forward. Right. So leaving them with a sweat is always good. Always good. It's always just positive endorphin, like good endorphins, good energy. They walk out and send a picture to their mate and look how hard I worked at PT. It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
Sweet. Finish with
Beautiful,
something
mate.
fun and a sweat. Easy. And
That's
just
it.
like when you finish with something fun, can it just be something totally random, just like a curveball?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. That's all that we do. Like as long as they're moving forward in their core block, as long as you can see that there's progression there, right? And why would you, I think, I look at it at a point of view and go, why would I skew them off progressive overload if I know that's how the result's going to be achieved anyway? I don't care if they're bored. It's like you've come to me to get a result, right? Let's do something fun at the end as a bit of a reward as well. That kind of thing.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Legend. Thank you.
Beautiful, man. Shano, did that come back to your head, my man? That question?
Fuck.
If it did, man, shoot it through me on school, hey, as well.
Hold on. I just had a bloke ring me and ask me for my prices.
Yep.
And I just said it's between 95 and 195. And then he started asking me, is it half an hour, 45 minutes? How do I answer all those questions, if you know what I mean? Like, because I reckon I scared him off by saying it's 95 bucks, 45 minutes. And
That's what happens as well, right? So when I get these questions, I just say, I actually can't give you a price right now, right? Because of so many different factors we need to dive into, right? As soon as you say I've done this as well, and recently, which I shouldn't have done it, I've said between 99 and 195. They're looking at that at face value and going, oh my God, right? They're not looking at everything else that we provide. So in order for me to best help you, mate, I just need to get you down to the club, right? I want to see what your goals are, how we can move forward. I've got a range of different services that will stem from packages that will be suitable for your goals, right? Now, in terms of session length with my service, it's not about the session length, right? It's about getting in there, looking at other systems and what will help support you as well. I'm almost inclined to not even tell people how long the session is either, right? Because that's the biggest thing. It's like, yeah, you can do an hour session, but we can look at the trainer in your club that does an hour, gets 5 exercises done. We can look at you in your club in half an hour, gets 5 done. So what's the real, we have no baseline, right? So I think for him, just being honest, mate, as well, like my prices will be they'll dictate a whole lot as well.
Because one other time, I said to this lady, she asked me my prices, and before I asked Simon what to do, this chick said to me, how much do you charge? And I said, it's not about what I charge, it's what I've got to offer. I said, we can sit down for a complimentary 2-part kickstart. Then a few days later, she said, how dare you not, I asked you what your prices were and you didn't want to talk about it. She said, who does that sort of thing? She really had to go at me about it.
It's not you, mate. That's them. That's a them problem for sure. And No worries, Tom. It's one of those ones like you take that on the chin. Like whenever someone comes in and says to me, "What do you charge?" My will to work with them goes down into the drain. I don't want to work with them because it's all about money,
Yeah,
right? And it's all about they're always going to be like, "Oh, that's a lot of money." Like, mate, I can't be asked. Like, I can't be asked if I'm completely honest. And for you, Shane, it's like thinking about like you are not worth that conversation a lot of the time. You're not. It's
Yeah.
not worth your energy to input into someone when you've got other people coming in willingly paying that for you and are willing to sit down with you, so you can do your job as a professional. Ring up a doctor. Hey, how much do you charge? Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck getting that right.
Yeah.
That's
And that's
professional.
that's like me asking how much does she get paid for work?
Absolutely. That's 100% what it is, right? So that's when you just say to them, look, like it's almost like what needs to be treated for you will dictate the price, right? What we need to look at and what needs to change for you. And that's how we'll do that in our assessment. Then I'm happy to give you a price from there. I think that's the best way to go about it.
I did ask Simon about it, and he did say to me, between what did you pay? It was 95, 195.
Yeah.
So I went along with that. But then this guy, he dug deep, like, 'cause that's cool. I don't mind saying that. But then when he said, was it for half an hour, 45 minutes, it sort of like put me on.
It throws you off, right? Like it makes you
Yeah,
feel a little
threw me
bit
off,
like,
yeah.
oh, what do I go next? Yeah.
Yeah.
And just say, look, and all you say there is that, like we say, it's purely relative to what you need, right, as
Yeah.
well. And I'm not going to sit here and say you need a half an hour session because I need to actually look at what you need as well.
Yeah.
And some people, mate, you're completely right, are going to go, oh, how dare you? Yeah, don't ask how much I make for work. It's like, that's a really good kind of like example there, right? And it's like the doctor. You don't go into a doctor kind of, I think a lot of people feel like we need their business, right? So we're going to go and throw everything out the drain for them to get them in and make sure that they're, supported and everything they need is met. It's not the way you do it. It's not the way how we run our businesses.
When you think about it, for 2 sessions a week, I know they're only half an hour, but I'm telling you, I get enough
Exactly,
done.
mate.
You see my Facebook, I get enough done. And $130 a week's nothing compared to, you go and see any other trainer, they want $200 for the 1 hour. So that's $200 to see them twice a week.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
We're quite cheap, really.
We are very cheap, mate. We are very cheap. And I think you can get more out of a half an hour session with someone than an hour. I honestly do. Because you come in, you set the standard, let's go, let's smash it and leave. Now, if our rate, mate, we should be 100 for half hour.
Yeah.
Really, like in all honesty, right? So around that rate, and I know all of us, for me, like I'm going to have a little trial of it and see how I go at selling at that rate.
Another thing, Sam, how I train my clients, I'll get them to do like bench press, and then I've got like a 10 kilo slam ball.
Yeah.
Instead of having a rest right there, I'll get them to do 10 slam ball.
Yeah. So these are the things.
Do another bench, 10 slam ball. And then we go to the next exercise, might do incline. So then I do incline. And by the end of it, half an hour, they're knackered. Like you said, the endorphins are kicked in.
Yeah.
They're feeling like they've done a wicked workout. And we've got plenty done.
And it's, majority of clients now, guys, 80 to 90%, I would say would be weight loss. I'd almost guarantee. Within Australia, I think there was a stat in America now that more than 50% of the population are obese, pretty recent. So absolutely insane. Australia is heading that way as well. It's not so much a progressive overload for these guys. It's making them love the gym and come back and feel good and then get your diet in check, and your nutrition will help you do that. So Shane, I love it, brother. I love the intensity that you're bringing to those sessions. And
then
just
at the
make
end,
people
just
feel
do
good.
like, if you want as well, you do a sled push.
Yep.
Up and down.
Yep.
It takes 2 minutes to do 10 sled pushes or whatever. And they're knackered at the end of it.
Just flog them. Don't give them a chance to whinge. That's the way to go about it.
It's only half an hour, so it's not overwhelming for them either. So
that's it. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, all right, guys, I've got to jump up here, wrap up, and jump into another meeting. All right. So have a great start to your week. If you need anything, shoot me a message on school, and we'll go from there. All right. Catch you later, guys. Chat soon.